Bickley and Marotta mornings. Arizona sports. The local sports leader. Bickley Blast.
In Northern California, a headline screams, Jimmy Butler has saved the Warriors. Down in Southern California, the arrival of Luka has LeBron James morphing into an MVP candidate at age 40. And down here in Phoenix, there are whispers that are even more incredulous. Could Collin Gillespie save the Suns? Absurd, isn't it? A G League star for an organization that didn't even have a G League team in recent years. A point guard taking the wheel and steering the team the way we thought Tyus Jones and Monte Morris would. Tantalizing indeed. Now at this point, I must remind a crashed out fan base to cling to but temper all optimism. We badly wanted to believe Grayson Allen's magical three against Utah was proof there was no toxicity in the room. We want to believe the on-court dysfunction is nothing but a media narrative, and we want to believe the Suns found something real in one magical quarter against the Clippers, ignoring the fact that the previous three quarters were as wretched of a display of basketball as you could ever imagine, because that's what we do as sports fans. We hope against hope. But I will say this, inspiration can come from the strangest of places, though none would be more unexpected than Gillespie, a third-string point guard who better be promoted to the starting lineup come Friday. All right, today's Bickley Blast brought to you by my great friends at Chapman BMW, who make luxury attainable. Find them online at chapmanbmw.com.
KD dribbles between his legs, now goes to his left. He's double teamed, swings to a wide open Gillespie for three. He got it!
Are you
Collin
kidding
Gillespie
me?
from downtown gives the Suns a 5-point lead. What can't the former Villanova Wildcat do here tonight?
Wow.
John Bloom and Tim Kempton on the call. That was the three late, 36 seconds left by Collin Gillespie that put the Suns up 5 on the Clippers.
Yeah.
And I think TK with the, are you kidding me? Like, I mean,
That's the good line.
That was a very fitting phrase for what everybody watched in that game from Collin Gillespie. And you're right. You want to talk about an unlikely source? A guy who has struggled with injury this year. He had a serious ankle injury and came back from it. Tom Leander told us yesterday he expected Collin Gillespie to miss the entire season when that injury occurred. And for a team that was desperately looking for something, something to get behind, that performance came at a perfect time.
Yes, it did. And when I say inspiration can come from the strangest of places, a couple of examples. You know, the famous Guns N' Roses song, Sweet Child O' Mine. It was our song of the day yesterday because of my son's birthday. The famous Where Do We Go Now line that sort of makes that whole song so different. That happened because while they were recording that song in minutes, they got to that part of the song, and Axl Rose had no idea where to go. So he started singing, Where do we go now? And right,
Where do we go?
Right, exactly. Paul McCartney once dreamt the melody to the hit song Yesterday, woke up and thought, I must be plagiarizing this. I must have heard this somewhere in my and this came up in my subconscious. And so he played it for his bandmates. They looked around. There was nothing else like it. Inspiration can come from the strangest of places. None stranger than Collin Gillespie, who, by the way, when Mike Budenholzer did that little bit of rebellion earlier in the year when he threw out Tai with Bol, right? Collin Gillespie gave the team a spark then too, but they weren't giving him any opportunities. And so for him to go to Collin Gillespie the other night, look at the results that it had. You suddenly, after the game, had KD talking sweet about Coach Bud.
What is happening?
What is going on here?
All because of one guy.
Yeah. And now KD's going to baseball games with Ryan Dunn to see his brother. It's like everything's changed.
Collin Gillespie joined Burns and Gambo yesterday on Arizona Sports, and he was asked, hey, do you feel like a motivator? Do you feel like an inspiring guy when you play?
I wouldn't necessarily say I felt it. I was kind of just in the moment playing, but I've always prided myself on being a leader. No matter who's on the floor with me, I pride myself on playing the game the right way, competing, playing hard. And I think when other guys see that, no matter who's on the floor, they're going to want to do it with you. You want to do things for your teammates. And compete at the highest level and play as hard as you possibly can. And I think when other guys see that, they're also going to follow suit and try to do it as well because they don't want to let their teammates down. So, my goal is really just go out there, create some energy, and get us playing hard and competing.
Yeah, Collin Gillespie played 11 minutes and 57 seconds of that fourth quarter. He was one of the big difference makers. Durant was at a different level. They don't win the game without Collin Gillespie. And what you said to end the blast is absolutely right. Ride the hot hand. Put him in the starting lineup.
Yes.
He changed things on both ends of the floor. You haven't been getting that consistently from your point guard spot, regardless of who's been in there. If it's been Bradley Beal or Tyus Jones or it spots Monte Morris, they're not getting that difference maker type of performance. And look, maybe it's not duplicatable by Collin Gillespie. Maybe that was a blip, but at least find out because it looked so markedly different, Bick, in the fourth quarter with what he was providing, and that energy bled through the entire five that was on the floor for that entire quarter. That's it. It was inspiring.
Yes, that's the word.
For a fan base that has been less than inspired all year long, that was great basketball for 12 minutes, and Collin Gillespie was a big part of it.
Okay, so it also plays into the fact that Kevin Durant, a Hall of Fame player whose greatness resurfaced in the fourth quarter and took the breath away of the fan base. That definitely happened. But I have been of the opinion that you need to put the right kind of piece next to Kevin Durant and whoever else it is, which is why I was vibing so much on the Jimmy Butler idea. Just the alpha, add the alpha to the mix and see what happens. That's kind of what Collin Gillespie did. Now, I'm not going to get crazy with this and call him a NBA alpha male. But what he did unlocked something in KD. You mentioned it. KD started he felt the energy in the crowd, then he started hyping the crowd even more.
Yeah. And then, again, rewatching that game, the television broadcast, can't give enough kudos to Mason Plumlee for what he did in that game.
Yeah, he was
fantastic in that game.
He was. And but at the same time, it's funny because when I went back and checked out some of the game, what struck me that we didn't talk about was this is a team that's had a lot of problems rebounding the basketball, keeping other teams off the offensive glass. They were this close to giving up that tip-in when and Mike Budenholzer, his best adjustment, in my opinion, was Zubats was just absolutely killing the Suns.
Yeah, mostly when Nick Richards was on him.
Right. He put Nick Richards and Plumlee in the game together.
Yes, on that last possession.
And what if that tip-in would have gone in?
Ugh.
Right? But it didn't. It didn't. So whatever. It's to me, this is it's a building moment only if they make it one.
Yeah, that's the key. But I want to see Collin Gillespie in that starting five tomorrow and playing a big role. You don't know. We'll get an update on the availability of Bradley Beal, which is to me it doesn't even matter. It's a daily storyline at this point. Yeah, to me it doesn't matter either. And I think what Collin Gillespie showed you on Tuesday night should be enough of an indicator to say, all right, Brad, take your time.
Yeah.
If you're not feeling it, don't push yourself back. Cause we don't want to keep going on this teeter-totter.
Because we're going to roll with this hot homie over here. We're going to run the hot hand over here.
Thanks for watching Bickley and Marotta. Click to see the latest Bickley Blast and hit the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.